I think definitely Fernando Sor is one of the, well, actually the most important composer in the 19th century for guitar. There were other names which maybe became more popular at the epoch, and maybe some of them even more played today. But Sor, he was always putting the music in the first place and not really worrying about the effect it would do on the audience or how popular the piece would become. Yes, he did, but everybody did it in the epoch. Also, he was a very worldly man, traveling and living in different places in Europe. Spent some time in Russia, was in England a long time, in Paris living, and he was from here, from Catalonia, from Spain. Well-educated, really real artist, I would say, surely on the highest level of musicianship we had in the 19th century. Many of his pieces are very profound, inspired. I think nowadays his importance is really coming to a light in a proper way, though I think there's still a way to improve, and this festival is proving to be one of the great efforts and indications that we're going in the right direction. Sor was always inspiring me. The thing is, he also wrote many didactic works, and his studies are really masterpieces of didactic material of the 19th century. There are other composers, not to name the names, who composed maybe even more studies and dedicated themselves to make guitar more popular. But Sor was always approaching composing and music in the most profound way, I think. It's always a pleasure to play his music. That is a funny question, and I do have a funny answer, because that's why it's funny. I was always singing. When I was 2 years old, I was singing all the time. My family is non-musical. And actually, friends and family were telling my parents, send him to music school, send him to music school. So eventually they did when I was 5, but there was no place on any instrument in the music school in Zagreb. So I ended up in a dance class, ballet class. I was the only boy with the girls, wearing a tutu and dancing. And then, accidentally, one day, guitar teacher passed by and saw and said, well, this is ridiculous. Why is this boy with these girls there? And my mom, who was waiting there, well, we didn't find place for an instrument. He said, I'll make him place. And that's how I started playing guitar. It was pure accident. And by the age of 6, I entered his lessons and stayed with him for 7 years. He really awakened a love for guitar for me. Everything started going really well from the very beginning. When I was 7, I was already doing little competitions and winning prizes, and I was always motivated. And that's actually a simple story, but it's actually accidental how I began playing guitar. The most important thing I can recommend to a young player today is to always put the music in the first place. It's actually a little bit connected to Fernando Sor as well, because I feel in his way of composing, he was putting music in the first place, not paying attention to the limits of guitar, not paying attention to the audience, just himself and the music. So a young player today very often is confused, and I think the best way to help him move forward is just to make him understand that music is the first thing. We serve music. We are servants of music. What we see on the score, we're supposed to make that alive in our own way, through our own media, but music is always in the first place. That's my highest recommendation for a young player today.